I love people. So this video is really just a rant per se. And I saw a comment in the Telegram group that I was in, which is the Jamaican investor. And I thought I would just make a little video as it relates to the explanation of it, basically. So everybody wants to be a dividend investor. Here is, I think, probably the first step of actually being a dividend investor, and is actually finding the stocks that pay the most dividends. So if you're interested, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and let's begin. After about what is dividend investing? Dividend investing is essentially whenever a company makes profits, they will share said profits with their shareholders. They might give them a percentage or even the whole of the profit actually to their shareholders. All right, and that payment that we'll get either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually is what's called dividends. So back to the original question as it relates to how you'd actually find these dividend stocks. Well, there's four main ways that I use. I use either My Money JA, just check on the app and just individually check different stocks and see what's the dividend payout like. Or if I'm doing like a broad category to just like get a ballpark of where to look, I would choose Mayberry trade sheet. So if you go on Google and just type in Mayberry trade sheet, you'll see it pop up, and you will see at the extreme right, you'll see the dividend payout. And to be honest, it's not necessarily the most accurate, and sometimes it's not up to date as yet. So you're just using that as like a ballpark to say, all right, this pay 4, this pay 4, this pay 5, this pay 7, and then from there, so you can just tick off those stocks and say, all right, we're going to fact check them on JSE. Because on JSE, you know, when you have those individual stocks that you have chosen, all you're doing really now is just checking on JSE to see the corporate action, which is normally just dividends, and you'll see the dividends, and you can add it up and then, you know, calculate it as such. The third way is normally a more unconventional way, but I believe this is what most persons do, and is actually listen to finance content creator. So you have content creators like Lauren Greenvest, you have Demetrius Fairman, you have the Jamaican investors, and of course you have me, you guys' favorite YouTuber. But yeah, so whenever these content creators actually speak about, all right, these are their top dividend stocks for this year, normally those content creators create one of those videos every year. I even have a video on my top stock picks overall, so you can check that out. But yeah, that essentially is how it would occur. So those persons would be the persons that you can look towards to, as I say, get a pointer, and then you do your due diligence and fact check not only if the company is actually a dividend company, but also if they pay out a decent enough dividend that it makes sense. All right, and then also what you can do is just see if that company will be able to even continue paying dividend going into the future. I can even look at their history. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the calculation of how to fact check whatever means you use to get your pointers as to which stocks are dividends and which stocks are not. And then I guess you can end the video already. So yeah, we'll pull up the trusty tablet. Alright, look, people. So as I said, there's three ways you can actually find dividend stocks per se. One of the easiest way is like just use the trade, like Mayberry trade sheet. Give it a second. So basically, you type in Mayberry trade sheet. Over here's over this side, over that side here, over here. So you'll basically find the different companies that pay dividends. So this is 2023, and sometimes they're not up to date as yet, because I know Career has been paying a lot, um last year. So yeah, but one of the best ways you can just gauge, like just eyeball it. So you can say it's 0.9 a career as for a play. You can scroll and scroll and scroll. You can see what performed good. This is not true. It's just, I don't say you can fact check it, but because the as it relates to proving and paying a USD, say kind of screw the numbers, and they're probably using some automated thing, and that's where the fact check. But basically, you can just look at it and you can see some other actual good dividend companies that are paying. No, and then when I guess them update it on this side, they can check as well, which will be 2024 one. So you can also get fund managers like their newsletter. So when you have an account, they provide you with a newsletter, which also like gives you information on certain stuff. Their dividend payout thing is also sometimes more up to date than even Mayberry sometimes. So you can even use that. So I guess maybe open an account there and then getting to be on the newsletter or the email letter is also an option. So, however, off the bat, I'm going to just put up some companies that I know are good dividend companies based on last year's numbers, and you can have a start from there. So I guess I put up right here. So alright, so let's say we find a company and we decide that alright, we're going to choose company. So one good company which you know is a dividend payer is Trend, which is about 4.9. Yeah, but we're going fact check it ourselves. We're going fact check it ourselves. So how would I actually fact check Trans? You know, go up on JC. This is the home page of JC. So how we'd find the information on the stocks that we want, we go to listings, and then from listings we're going to go to listed companies, and from listed companies you have main market stocks here, but if you click down you can junior USD bond, but Trans Jamaica is a main market stock, so it goes to BAM and we're going to find it. Now as we want to know how the dividends go basically, so we're going to scroll down. This is going to show like performance, it's going to show earnings, and in corporate action normally it's just dividends. As you can see, the pattern is they've been paying like 2 times for the year, so you can assume say this is all that they would have paid for 2024. There's a lot of misconception that let's say a company pays 4 times a year compared to like Transa pays 2 times a year, that company is paying more in dividend, but that's not the case, and I'm going to show you an example. So we're going to just snip right here. So we're going to snip here, so of Trans, and then we're going to snip, for example, Grace Kennedy pays like 4 times. All right, so this example is really just a simple example really. So Trans, we just snip Trans, you can see them pay 2 times, and then for Grace you can see them pay 4 times for the year. And to calculate the dividend per se, or the dividend percentage payout, is real simple. Let me just carry this down a little bit more. Is real simple. So what I did, I just added these two numbers, which is the amount they paid to get this, and then what we're going to do is based on the current price of this, we're going to do it. So basically the formula that we're going to use is 4.03, and then basically we're going to have the 0.1895 over it. When you do that, and we'll just pull up the calculator same time. Basically we're going to do the calculation. So we're going to do 0.1895 divided by 4.03, and you're going to get this. So the answer you're going to get is just going to run it off 0.04702, and then basically what you're going to know is just basically multiply this by 100 if you just get a percentage. And over here, so we're going to multiply it, so multiply by 100, and we're basically going to get the 4.7022% based on this stock price. It's not fixed. You can get more technical, as in like calculate how much the dividend is based on what time they actually give the dividend. So you could say, all right, them give this amount of this then, and the stock price was $2 odd, then them give this this and this and that. But I'm showing you a simple example of how to, get a rough estimate. So 4.7022% is for trans. And now for Grace stock price is around the 73.88 mark, and when you add up all them here, you get $2.37. And we're just going to do the same math, which basically is $2.37 over 7388, and then just doing the calculation in front of the face. So 2.37 divided by 73.88, and you're going to get 0.03279, and then again just multiply it by 100, multiply by 100, and you're going to get 3.2079. So even though Grace paid a total of four payments, four dividend payments, it still work out to be less than a company like Trans that paid out twice a year. So I can keep in mind, because I was in the Telegram group at the Jamaican investors, and I saw the misconception. So there is that. But if you want to get more technical, kind of like understand, is this company paying out a decent amount of dividend, and if it's a case where they're going able to continue paying out that, you might not want to like go two things. They can, one, because what companies normally do is they'll pull on their reserves to actually pay out dividend if push come to shove, but they also just use their net income. But as like a last resort, they might pay out dividends, like some companies like carriers. They'll put money in their reserve this year, then next year they pull it out, etc., etc. But for the example, for a dividend coverage ratio, we're going to just use Trans, because I already have his financials up. So Trans, alright, so this is Trans financial statement. This is their cash flow, which is really what we're going to be using per se. So the cash flow we are going to focus on here, so which is the financing activities. I'm going to focus on the dividend payout. We're going to use this year, I will 2023 for example. It doesn't really matter, it's just an example. So let's say $15,000. So here's what we're going to need. We're going to need a few stuff. One, we're going to need their net revenue, which is here. So we're going to just choose this, or just use the total comprehensive. So for 2023 it was 23,971. Granted, this is in thousands of US dollars, but just to make the figures them smaller, then yeah. So this is the net profit, and then we're going to need how much they actually paid out in dividends, which is 15,000. So Dave was 15,000. So the formula to calculate dividend coverage ratio would equal net income minus preferred dividend over common dividend. It's kind of technical with Trans, because Trans borrowings, as it relates to here, so might not necessarily, Trans borrowing is not preference shares, and up in the current liabilities, they have cumulative preference shares. So we're just going to ignore that because the number is also relatively small. But we're just going to ignore this and just use the basic calculation. So it's going to be that dividend, and it's going to be 23971 divided by 15,000, which means that the dividend coverage ratio is 1.59 or about 1.6. basically means they can cover paying dividend, assuming that they don't make any revenue for the following year, another year. But as I say, this number can also be fluffed up in the sense that sometimes companies will pull on their reserves. Related profit, as you can see, can be here. So right here, so it can show say them actually have more money them can pull upon if in the event that they want to pay a particular amount of dividend and unable to do it. But we're not really going into that because this is just really hopefully just show you if a company have what it take for go another year paying dividend and how to actually find the dividends. So yeah, normally when this calculation is over 1 is good. If it's under 1, mean that even if next year come they wouldn't even be able to their um cover their dividend payout again for the following year. So either dividends can cut or I don't have to pay at all. So there is that. You have some companies that are paying out small percentage of their dividends, like Stanley Motors, Cygnus also is doing pretty well. So there is that.